Basically means on Beemster, like the area we live in, clay soil. So we're on clay soil here, and I think it's very typical to grow flowers on this soil. It's all around here. It's pasture with cows and some arable crops like potatoes, but not so many flowers. So I thought, well, it's really distinct of this place is the clay soil. So I will call the farm after the soil. Certified organic for 25 years. So I'm here just 10 years now, but Jan transitioned from conventional to organic 25 years ago. First, he only grew arable crops like potatoes, and at some point he started also growing organic flowers. So, but the time you need to get from conventional to organic, it was. I came here and the farm was already organic, so that was really made it a lot easier. Yeah, I only do the flowers, and Jan does the potatoes and everything. Yeah. Some flowers we only grow a bit, so we can sell them pretty much locally, but some we try to grow a little bit bigger, and then we use the auction and the wholesalers to sell them. That's really, we can use a little bit of both, like selling locally and growing for the bigger market. We grow quite a lot, but we started with an assortment that gave us flowers from like mid-May till mid-October, and now we try to find a way to be pretty much year-round. But we first tried to get a little bit earlier, so we planted daisies in the greenhouse, alliums in the greenhouse, tulips. So and that way we started a little bit earlier, but then it's still like end of April. But now we're trying with shrubs and everything. We try to get it more year-round, so we can see the new planted shrubs out there. But the main focus is still perennial plants and annuals directly sown into the ground. Well, we do a couple of things. Our main crop of annuals we sow directly, but we also try to grow some annuals in the greenhouse. So that's the first thing in spring. We make like the soil blocks, then seed them, and they stay in the greenhouse till mid-March, and then we most of the time can plant them out in the greenhouse. These stay here over winter, and the ones in the fields we remove them because they blow away when it's windy, like pretty much always here. So then they go there, and then we start taking up the perennial plants, and then we take cuttings. So this is Campanula glomerata. We take the plants out, and then we make cuttings and try to make them grow. These are pretty unpredictable because this tray is pretty nice, and there are some.
And then what do we have over here?
That's the hanging amaranthus. Mm-hmm. Campanula rapunculus, I think. Menta, Artemisia, scabiosa. And inside there's much more.
Good, we'll follow you inside.
Yeah. It's quite cool in here.
It's been a windy day, we're happy with this.
Yeah.
Oh, look at how, these are the cosmos?
Yes, yeah.
And so you do soil blocking?
Yep. Yeah, we used to buy them, and then I found a bigger one that we could do it by hand, and then I tried once with a stopwatch how many I could do in an hour, and then I did my calculation and I thought, well, I can do it myself, and I earned quite a nice wage. So it's, yeah.
So your soil blocks are impressive.
Yeah.
Is that a custom block that you've made?
Yeah, it's, I will get it from over there. So this is the original one I bought at a, I don't know how you call it.
Farm sale?
Yeah, something like that for
Farm
like
equipment.
€2.50 or something. But at some point I thought that, it was pretty much done. So I found this one. This can make those blocks. It goes quite well. At some point they die, but.
Julian, do you make your own medium, your own potting mix?
We buy it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's good for seeds though.
Yeah, mainly. Yeah, it should be.
Lighter weight.
Fine enough to just to make a good block and to seed really tiny seeds, because some plants like they are outside now, but we seed it in a tray and then take all the small plants out. Like the cosmos, we just sow on the blocks, and that's okay. So it has to work for everything and keep everything alive long enough so we can grow them up and then plant them out.
Move them outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite thing to grow? Favorite variety?
The favorite thing to grow, I think it's dill.
Dill?
I really like to grow it. I like the smell of it. I like the abundance of it when we just can have like fields full. Yeah, and then as well, you sell everything local. At some point you have enough dill and you need some other flowers. But we can also make like a whole auction trolley with dill, and then everybody is happy. So it's called Vierling. And we tried some other varieties, but that one I found is the best for the growing conditions.
And to sell a whole cart, how many stems does that mean? Or bunches?
27 buckets with 40 stems or 50 stems. Just like 1,040 or 1,350.
So you know you can sell that at the auction?
Yeah, no problem. Maybe free. Sometimes I just call one wholesaler and say, well, can you do like a special price thing? And then they take a trolley every day. So that's really convenient if you have a lot. So try to, then I call that one. And then I
it adds such beautiful texture to a bouquet. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Around the auction, there are some companies that do the transportation, so you can just call them and everything is arranged. So you get the trolleys, you get the buckets, everything is all figured out.
And they come to you.
Yeah. I always say to people, we sell to everybody, but not directly to the consumer. You have to go to the florist to get or the shop to get our flowers, and everybody may buy from us, but we have to be able to send it to Flora Holland, or you have to pick it up. I don't go anywhere. Only to the supermarket. Yeah, exactly. Only go to the supermarket to get food, and that's it in summertime.
So when you sell it locally, it's to florists.
Yeah, or people that are at the market in Amsterdam. So
can take it someplace else.
But they come here.
Yeah.
Got it.
Back to the dill. Are the flowers very big? No.
The
seed head.
The seed head, and the flowering head. It can be like this. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
Like the really tiny ones, and we see them pretty far apart. So then you get. It's a little bit early, maybe in like 2 weeks you can see them.
You save your own seed?
We started saving our own seed from some varieties. Sometimes it's difficult, but it is also really a lot of work.
Yes.
And like the perennials, we are pretty much independent, but like the seeding crops, we really need something from outside. And we have a challenge for the coming 10 years. I think the European Union decided in 2030 something, all organic farms should be completely using organic seeds and plants and everything. But now, but now we need like 95% of it is still conventional. So that's really a big challenge, especially with the hybrids. It's some like Lysianthus is impossible to grow if we can't get the raw seeds.
Right.
So sometimes we decided, well, we can't grow it because this reason.
Julian, can you talk a little bit about the organic organization that you're part of and how you're changing, hopefully bringing more farms into it? Or is there resistance from flower farms?
No, I think everybody, I'm part of Biologische Sierteelt Nederland, and we try to bring like already organic farmers together, like potting plants and cut flowers. We try to bring them all together and learn from each other and work together. And we were at the organic trade fair in Apeldoorn 2 weeks ago. So we were there together, so we can we speak to each other, but also to potential clients. And show that we are around. And we see in conventional, there is quite a lot of pressure from society that something has to change about the use of pesticides. So many farmers know this is going on. So some are really interested. So what are you doing? Can we do it? Or we can do it till this point. How can we do the last like 2 or 3%? Because at many times it's just really tiny things like getting rid of the weeds in wintertime. How do you do it without herbicides? Or how can we do it without a certain fertilizer? So that's really interesting to see how all the conventional farmers are.
But you're trying to show them in a positive way, just make these
every
small changes.
I think it's really important. Just let the saying that everything is wrong, let the environmental clubs do it, and they are really good at it. And we try to do our part, and we do it. Maybe you can learn something from it. Maybe you think it's all rubbish. Yeah, that's okay. Then we're done pretty much. But we try to show them we do it like this, maybe. And I think over the past years, I've seen quite some farmers come here, see it, but also come to our colleagues, see it, and then start to transition or
adopt some of those practices.
And start believing it's possible, because sometimes we grow like this crop and we figured out how to do it, and they grow a different crop. So they have to find other solutions than we had to do. But then they get inspired just to get on with it. Yeah.
Do you feel like you're part of the next generation, the newer leader, the younger pioneers who are showing maybe the established farmers that there is a different way?
I think certified organic is the way forward. I not completely believe it's the only way forward, but it's a way forward. So, and I see many farms that are just in a certain it's like this, and it cannot be like this forever, so they have to change at some point. And I think some are really interested to go organic, and some are really interested in to go another way, but to get also to another place. And what you also see is when I go to a meeting from the flower auction, I don't go there as much as I should, but then I see all the flower farmers are like 55 and men. And that's something, in 10 years they all will be stopped, and the younger generation thinks, well, working 80 hours a week all year round while having all other opportunities, because there are many. They don't
want to appeal to young.
And society saying, well, you're doing bad things all the time, that doesn't help as well. So that's something, we'll see how it's going to be in 10 or 15 years.
So the younger farmers, they're more women? Is that what you're saying?
Well, when I have a meeting with organic flower farmers, or with we also have in Netherlands the slow flowers group. Yeah, they are mostly women, and they're mostly like 25, 35, something like that. And but also the approach is completely different. It's most of them don't grow for the auction; they grow for like the local market. So it's quite interesting how that's going to evolve, because I see, as a young flower farmer, the possibilities we have with all the with the auction and the wholesale and everything that's already here in the Netherlands, and we can use it. So the whole auction is called Flora Holland. The main auction, I should not say main, because it's like Naaldwijk and Rijnsburg say we are also really important, but the big one is in Aalsmeer, and there's also one in Naaldwijk, Aalsmeer. There used to be one in Eelde. So, we at all the auctions there are like wholesalers.
And do they have a separate section then for organic?
It's starting to be, yeah. But we don't sell that many flowers really at auction. So we use Flora Holland to directly deliver to the wholesalers that are so over there. So we can use the trolleys and the buckets
They
and
act
the
like,
logistics.
like your
and
broker almost.
Yeah.
Like your distributor.
Yeah, yeah.
That's interesting, and I think that your comparison between the younger farmer florists who are in the Still Flowers Netherlands group, they're all small scale.
Mm-hmm.
But in a way, the fact that you're selling through the large auctions or distributors, it kind of proves that you can do this profitably as an enterprise, and
Yeah.
you know, you're kind of breaking the mold.
Yeah, yeah, it is possible. Sometimes it means working 80 hours a week, but I think all my conventional flower grower colleagues also have to do it to get all the work done, because it's, yeah, everybody knows it. It's really focused on those few months. So we go into the field. I really like to see the perennial fields at the back, and it's like half a kilometer walk. So
Onward.
we planted them last year in May. They're really, really happy. I was really surprised how fast they started growing. Yeah, they're really doing well. Yeah, yeah, for the rose hips.
Oh, for roses.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What variety?
This one, there are two, orange cascade and red cascade. But when I put them alongside each other, I hardly can tell the difference. I only see that one of the two grows a little bit easier. So I'm figuring out which one it is, and if I might. But yeah, when you look at it, one row is red, this one is orange, or the other way around. You can barely see it. They are both quite happy.
Back to your point about trying to be a year-round grower,
Yeah.
you need to stretch out your seasons.
Yeah, and one of the main things that's the result of trying to be more year-round is that we started, like all the shrubs over here, the rose hips are from the last year, but like the Symphoricarpus, but also the Spirea and the Viburnum are from this spring. So we just planted them, and we'll see if that makes us more.
Wow, they look fabulous.
Do you find the lady's mantle gets taller in the house?
Yeah. We can go in.
Oh, and so I kind of gave up on it.
Go on in. You can see the dianthus.
These are nice and tall.
Yeah, yeah, it really helps to put them inside. So we did plant tulips in here like last fall, as well as the dianthus and the daisies and the alliums, and
Go ahead.
I think at
Go ahead,
mid-March the tulips are pretty much gone, and then we just cultivated everything, and we planted like here the cosmos and there the snapdragons.
You're looking at structure.
Yeah. I tried it to use outside. It was horrible. Now I tried to use it inside. I think it's still not ideal, but maybe it works. Yeah, and most of the plants we grow on rows, so we can use the schoffel. I don't know what's called schoffel. The hoe, yeah, in between the rows. We don't have that much work weeding them, because without a paper, it's quite a lot of work to get every little plant out. Yeah.
Do you harvest them at this stage, Julian?
Yeah, no,
Or when
one flower open, but now I decided maybe 2 or 3 flowers open. We wait a little bit longer. That's it.
Florists like just the green.
Yeah, you also have a variety. It's called green trick. Yeah, and some more that are that you just stay green. I think the one that does not flower is sold more than the flowering one, which I think is.
That looks like
is a
this,
bit.
maybe.
Yeah.
It looks like this, but a little bit.
Yeah, and a bit of yeah.
I think the colors are hard
These
to work
smell
with.
so nice.
You know,
Yeah, yeah, and I think people have people think it's old-fashioned. So maybe in like 10 or 15 years they're really popular again, but now it's
But it's early color.
Yeah.
yeah,
A lot of color
yeah.
early.
Yeah, when the perennials can stay, I think these beds are like 4 or 5 years old. Then you don't do anything. But like with the annual crops, yeah, you plow, then you rotate, or we use a power harrow. You power harrow, you seed, and then when it's done, you mow it, and then you try to see the cover crop, and then you.
Well, hello everyone. Deborah Prinzing here with Slow Flowers Show, and I've got a very special guest today. I'm so delighted to introduce Julian Langelaan of Op Beemster Klei in Holland. Hello, Julian.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining me. I'm delighted to meet you virtually now, but I'm going to meet you in person in a couple weeks on this garden tour that Slow Flowers is participating in. And I'm delighted that our tour organizers contacted you. And we basically invited ourselves to come tour your farm. But you have a really unique operation as a organic specialty cut flower farm serving the trade. I assume I'm describing that correctly. Do you sell to the public as well?
No, only business to business.
Okay, great. Well, can you give us a snapshot of Op Beemster Klei? Just, what is your focus and your business model? I've seen the list of some of your crops, but I'd love to know, like, it's spring now. What are your first crops and where you're located?
Yeah. Well, we grow organic certified cut flowers on 5 hectares, like about 12 acres. We're certified organic. We grow them from directly sown annuals in the field, but also from perennials. We also have some shrubs, bulbs. So we are now harvesting tulips. And we mainly sell to florists, wholesalers. And we're also a member of the Dutch flower auction Flora Holland. But we mainly use it for logistics, and because all the wholesalers are located at Flora Holland, so it's really convenient to use it.
That's the auction called Almsmeer, is that correct?
Yeah, Flora Holland is like multiple auctions, and Alsmeer is the biggest one and the most known, I think. But there are also some more in Holland, and they're all nowadays they're all one company.
Oh, great! I didn't realize that. I visited that maybe 20 years ago, so I know it's changed.
Yeah, I think it's changed because in the past they were all separate, but now they decided that it's more convenient to work together, and for a grower it's more convenient as well.
Well, I did spend time looking at your website, and we'll share that link with our viewers. I saw photos of fields of peonies. I saw Symphoricarpos snowberry. And then, of course, a lot of spring perennials like Alchemilla mollis, lady's mantle, and then some annuals. So you're very diversified for similar to a specialty cut flower farm in the U.S. where people maybe grow 50 varieties. Roughly how many varieties do you grow from bulb to woody ornamentals?
Well, it's also like a hobby. So I think we grow like 30 varieties on a somewhat of a commercial scale. Some are a little bit more like mass production, so we grow them also in bigger amounts. But when you get all the small, like a few square meters of this and a few square meters of you're out far above the 100, I think. Because it's also, it's too nice to test everything and to try what works and what doesn't work. We grow on pretty heavy clay soil, so not everything works, and some things work tremendously, and some things are just hopelessly lost in the soil here.
Well, you said it's kind of a hobby. Does it mean it's like this is an obsession? Like you can't not grow cut flowers?
I always say January is a very, very dangerous month because then it's the time to buy seeds and everything. And then I have to say to myself, no, it's going to be really busy without all the experiments and everything. But most of the time we end up with too much little things because it's too nice to do.
I get it. I think those of us who love flowers and love horticulture can completely relate. Holland has such a rich, deep history in flower production. And it seems to me that certified organic is a very small subset of the process that people grow cut flowers. Do you want to talk a little bit about that and how this came to be with the designating Op Beemster Klei as an organic flower farm?
Yeah. Well, when you look at the whole organic cut flowers branch sector, I think the first initiative to start growing organic flowers was in 1993, my year of birth, and since then it was quite a bumpy ride. Mostly read about, but I think. And then, some growers started, some growers stopped growing organically. Some people start selling, some people stopped. But I think the last few years, mainly because the pressure from society that something has to change became bigger and bigger. And I think now something really is happening for certified organic, because we already saw conventional growers improving or changing their practices, so they didn't have to use less pesticides and everything. So something already is changing and still is changing, but like that really something is happening in organic certified organic production. That's something I think really happened the last 2 years, and the speed is it's everything is moving quicker, and that's nice to see. I've for myself have been growing organic flowers for 10 years at the end of this month. But when I started growing flowers here, it was already a flower farm. So now it's my business partner, but when I came here, he was already growing flowers, and he also does grow arable crops like potatoes and onions. But that's like two businesses for one person. That's too much. So
I see.
yeah.
So you joined to take over the flower
Yes.
production side of the business.
Yeah.
When you talked about clay soil and some of the challenges, I would imagine that makes it even harder to grow organically. Are you using some of the methods like cover cropping and obviously a lot of organic amendments like mulches and compost? Tell us a little bit about your process.
Well, we do use cover. I always say heavy clay soil is soil with character. So when we
I like that.
when you need to have good soil, but if you want good soil, you have to take care of it well. One of the ways is like the biological side, so using cover crops, using compost, but also like the physiological, I don't know if that's the right word in English, side of it. So using the right machines at the right time, being patient when the soil's wet. So that's mainly the thing, waiting to the point that the soil is right to work. We have been waiting quite a while, but I think we can start planting tomorrow. So we made a lot of cuttings last few weeks. Now they're all rooted. So hopefully we can start planting tomorrow. And that's, you have to be really patient. Can we start? No, we can't, because the soil is still too wet. And that's the main thing. When the soil is, you have to wait till it's ready.
Yeah.
So
if it's too wet, if it's too wet to work, you're just damaging the soil when you're tilling. Being in Seattle, I feel like our climate is a lot like parts of Holland, and just the winter rains and the clay soil. So that might be, the rain is probably another issue, that you're having to wait till fields dry out a little bit. And the rains slow down.
Yeah, especially some years it's no problem. Like this year and last year, we have a pretty nice winter with some frost. So the soils also, yeah, when the clay soil freezes, it breaks up. So you have to have a good freeze. Maybe just 2 or 3 days, that's enough. But we did have that last year, but the winters, therefore, it was really wet all winter. Just a little bit of frost, and then it's really complicated to get started.
Oh my gosh.
Um,
Yeah. Wow.
yeah, and then a lot of farmers are really unhappy.
So, Julian, do you grow under cover at all? Do you have any high tunnels or greenhouses?
Yeah, some polytunnels for
Okay.
starting a little bit earlier, and sometimes we cover the last crop to extend the season a bit.
Are your flowers, when you say that you're selling to the trade, business to business, are your flowers kind of known in the floral industry as like the organic choice? Your brand, is it something you use to communicate? Hey, we grow for the planet and for people and not just for, profit.
Well, yeah, I like to tell the story about what we do, and we mostly sell to a group of wholesalers we already do business with, sometimes more than 15 years, so they know what we do. And we see mainly, sometimes we get new customers buying, but mostly it's just the current customers expanding because the rising demand of organic flowers. So we have been growing organic flowers for like 2.5 hectares for a few years. Now we're at 5 hectares, and we didn't have to change a lot because all the customers really wanted more. So that was really easy just to sell them more.
The demand was there.
Yeah.
The customers are wholesalers who then sell in their market, like to a florist or to a grocery store, that sort of thing. Is
Yeah.
that the model?
Yeah, mostly florists, and we also sell to some online retailers.
Yes. Okay. Wow. That's exciting. And it's interesting that your growth is aligned with consumer sentiment. So I want to talk about that before we wrap up. But first, you're so young compared to all the old timer farmers. I'm just curious, how did you fall into this this career path for yourself?
Yeah, I grew up in an area with a lot of greenhouses, so I was already interested in what was going on inside there. So I started working first in tomatoes, just alongside going to school, of course. And at some point, I realized it was really interesting what was going on, and I like to, continue studying in horticulture. So I did, and at some point I became interested in organic cut flower production, and traveled the country to see who was doing something like this. And so I ended up here, seeing all the opportunities, but also a farmer who already decided, well, 2 businesses is too much, so I have to decide what to do. So he decided that he wanted to continue growing arable crops, and it would pretty much be the end of, I think, somewhat the last bigger scale organic cut flower farm. So for me it was at 23, now or never moment. So and I decided it was now. But I did have a lot of help from the previous flower grower.
Yeah.
And also like farmers who already grew flowers for many years, and advisors, and everybody is really willing to help. So that really helped, preventing a lot of mistakes you could have made without the knowledge some people already have. So
But
that
I
was
love
really,
that.
yeah.
Farmers are generous in sharing their knowledge. So when you say could you describe where you are in Holland in relation to maybe some landmark cities that people might know about?
Yeah. Well, we are located about 20 minutes north of Amsterdam in the Beemster polder. So that's really, that's the biggest landmark of Holland, I think, Amsterdam.
Sure.
So that's pretty.
But 20 minutes outside of Amsterdam, there there's agriculture. I mean, that's pretty close in a way for you
Yeah.
to plug into that network of transportation.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. Wow. So you didn't grow up in a family of gardeners or growers. You just grew up in a region where your first job as a teenager was in a greenhouse, it sounds like.
Yeah. Yeah. Some
That's
like,
amazing.
yeah, well, in the past, but I think that's valid for a lot of people, like your grandparents, that they were working in agriculture. But I think that's a lot of people. But like my parents, they did not.
Yeah, that's okay. You're the first generation and more to follow. Um, I wanted to ask you a little bit about this comment you made about rising consumer sentiment for organic. Is that happening across the country? I think it's sort of happening across Europe, isn't it? I mean, Europe seems so progressive compared to North America.
Well, yeah, we see it all over Europe, and I think like Holland is a little bit of the flower shop of Europe. So when you're a florist in Italy, or you're a florist in Stockholm and you want to buy flowers, they buy local, but they also buy from like a wholesaler from the Netherlands. So we notice when something is moving, like in Switzerland or Austria or Sweden, that are the main Germany. There the demand is even bigger than here. But we also see it now in Holland, and I think over 80 or 90% of our flowers stay in Holland. So
Oh, really? 80 or 90% are, so people want locally grown, organic, Dutch grown flowers, and that's your special niche.
yeah.
And do you think that, I mean, I came on a tour a couple years ago to Dutch Lily Days. It was in 2024, I believe, and toured all the greenhouses. It was an international sales event, basically. And I heard many of the growers talk about being sustainable. And I think they were referring to greenhouse operations such as energy use. I don't think that it really was about growing practices. And is that what differentiates you from perhaps some of the other growers in the industry? Because you're trying not to use pesticides or don't use pesticides or fertilizers that are synthetic. I mean, tell me a little bit about that method.
Yeah. Well, I think the problem with sustainable and being sustainable is that you can, define it the way you want it to define. And
I agree.
I think a lot of growers try really hard and do a lot, but at some point they always, of not always, most of the time say, I do this and I do this, but when I have this problem, then I still have to spray. And we decided, well, we grow organic, we are certified organic, so we don't do none of these things, and I think that's the difference. But when you can really do the same thing as we do, but not being certified, but still have the opportunity to do something when you really want to. And we decided, well, it's not even a choice to do it another way. It's just we do it organic.
Mm-hmm. So when that happens, I'm guessing there are times when you say, you know what, this crop is just got to come out because we can't grow it organically to our high standards of quality because of disease or pests. Do you have to make those tough decisions?
Yeah, and also sometimes one year it's all perfect, next year it's all how you say it, drama. And next year it's gonna be perfect again. And then you have to decide, well, we have so many crops, it's no problem missing one of those. When it's year after year after year problems, then you decide, well, it can grow here, but we have so many choices, there are so many flowers to grow.
I love that. Tough love.
Yeah.
I love that. And I think that your philosophy is so important. And I would imagine that the more people learn about your farm and how you're growing. Are you being contacted by other farmers who ask you to advise them? I mean, I feel like you're a pioneer in this.
Yeah, we see more and more farmers that are starting growing organically. Not the amount I would like to see, but it's moving. Yes, at some point, some people are really interested in what we are doing, and yeah, they come and visit and see. And
I'm very interested, and I'm so excited that I'll be able to visit in a few weeks. I know it's early in the season, and you said you're just starting to plant. But when you have visitors, do you just walk them through the fields and describe your process, or what can I expect?
yeah, basically, yeah. When it basically starts, I ask people, "Do you want the grand tour or just a little tour?" Because when we go, yeah, the grand tour, it's like 1.5, 2 hours. And when I start talking about everything I think it's interesting to show, and yeah, then it becomes quite time consuming. But yeah, there's at some point, like in July, it's more interesting to look at the annual direct sown crops. And now this time, yeah, it's interesting to look in the polytunnels and at the perennials that are already there for a couple of years. So then the focus shifts a bit, and then I just say, here we are going to seed sunflowers and everything, but now it's pretty much empty.
It's spring. I get it.
Yeah.
I'm excited. What are you excited about for 2026? Do you have some new introductions, a new area that you're growing, or is your plate full with everything that you're already doing?
Yeah, a little bit of both. We are already doing a little bit too much. I sometimes think, but yeah, there are always new things that are interesting to try. Last winter we decided to really expand the growing shrubs, so we can be more year round without using more fossil fuels. Yeah, we need fossil fuels for the tractor, but not to heat greenhouses. So I'm really interested to what point you can start growing and enabling florists to make like seasonal bouquets in Dutch conditions. So a lot more shrubs, but also more bulbs. So that's the focus of this year. And also we quite increased the production last 2 years from 2.5 to 5 hectares, and I still noticed that we have to eliminate some back breaking work, because when you have to put compost on 10 beds, it's no problem to do it by hand, but when you have to do like 50, you don't like it that much anymore. And also with like processing flowers in the barn, more people, more flowers, you need to change everything up a bit so it starts working again.
So you're really tailoring your systems to your capacity, and that means you'll have to change from manual to a little bit more mechanical. Is that what you're alluding to?
More machines and a better use of the machines we already have. We have more customers and more florists that ordering directly, so we have to you also have to pick all the orders and have that already, and a system that works so that I doesn't have to do it all myself, because I already know who wants what and in what who it should look like, and if we have to bunch or not. I know it out of my head, but when there's someone who's working here, they have to learn it, or I have to make a system so it's easy to understand. So that's also something that really needs attention.
It's very relatable to every flower farmer I've interviewed, and you are the face of the business, and all of the institutional knowledge is in your head, and so now you have to figure out who and how can you delegate that.
Yep.
I was just going to ask, how many employees do you have, Julian?
Well, I think we now have a signal group, so we can talk to each other, share some good news and everything. But there are 10 people in the group, And I think, yeah, in peak season we try to be every day with 5, and that's enough. So most people work part-time, some
Got
work
it.
full-time. Yeah, and it's mainly also because it's really difficult to be full-time here in summertime and have nothing to do in winter. So yeah, then you have, yeah, and that's also the reason I want more year-round work with the shrubs and bulbs, so we can, yeah, stay busy all year round.
Yeah, season extension and become a year-round farm. Well, I'm very excited to come visit you, and we'll film, if it's okay, I'll film some of the tour so that I can edit the look inside your high tunnels and your polytunnels, and just people can experience a visit to an organic flower farm in Holland, which is pretty impressive. And I feel like you're at the front lines of changing the way flowers are grown in, like you said, the flower basket of Europe. So, or flower shop of Europe. But I'm excited to visit you. Yeah. Thank you so much, Julian. Op Beemster Klei. Thanks
Yeah,
so much.
Yeah, no, you're welcome.
I will
Looking
see you in
forward
a
to it.
few weeks. Thank you,
Yeah.
Julian. And we'll also share a link to your website and your social media so people can find and follow you.
Yeah, the website has not been updated for, I think, 8 or 9 years. But last year, some people that worked there were really enthusiastic to start the Instagram. And I did not like all the social media fuss because, yeah, I'm already busy and people already know how to find us. But they were so enthusiastic. So I said, well, let's do it. And they really did well. So I think we now have a really nice Instagram with, yeah, updates.
You know
So
what?
now
That's so smart. Like the website can just be your placeholder, but the daily activity shows up on Instagram. So we'll check that out and we'll share that. Okay. Thank you, Julian. I really appreciate it. And I will see you in a couple weeks.
Yeah. See you then. Thank you.
Take care.
Yeah. Have a nice day.